Hey people, what is up? Welcome back to our channel once again. It's me, your bearded bro, QuickSilver 15, back with another video, and today we'll be reviewing 2021's most suicidal team-up movie, and of course it's none other than the Suicide Squad. So okay, the premise of the movie is almost exactly the same as the original. Of course, it is the Suicide Squad. What else do you expect? So it's essentially these group of villains tasked of successfully completing an almost impossible mission. Some would say it is a suicide mission, hence the name Suicide Squad. So the only difference this time around is, of course, they change up the roster as they do in the comics, and one other key ingredient, and that is the director, James Gunn. And if you don't know, he is the guy behind Guardians of the Galaxy. So with a host of crazy characters and an epic director, you probably won't go wrong with this movie. Okay, so throughout the publication years of Suicide Squad, there has been a plethora of villains who has joined the squad, and of course this iteration of the squad, we have of course Harley Quinn, the queen of the DCEU, of course played by the amazing Margot Robbie, and I can definitely say that she is probably one of the most capable actresses or one of the few actresses actually who was destined to play Harley Quinn. And as Deadpool is to Ryan Reynolds, I would have to say that Harley Quinn is definitely to Margot Robbie. So next off we have Rick Flag, played by, well, a returning actor, Joel Kinnaman. I don't know how to say his last name, I'm sorry, but yeah, he's the same Rick Flag from the previous movie. Of course, he is the leader, quote-unquote leader of the squad. Actually, I don't know why he's in the squad this time around. On the previous movie, he wanted to save Enchantress, but now I don't really see his motivation to lead this suicide mission. So yeah. Of course, up next we have Bloodsport, played by the amazing Idris Elba, and we also have an amazing performance by him. Nothing really special with Bloodsport. He is essentially a hardcore soldier guy with all this high-tech gear. He has a really cool modular weapon that, you know, just increases in power as he adds attachments to it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Next up we have Peacemaker, played by John Cena. Not the most interesting character of the movie. He is definitely the Drax-like character if you compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy, but I would definitely say that Dave Bautista, of course, a fellow wrestler of John Cena, did it better because a lot of John Cena's lines came out a bit dry for me, and I mean, it goes to show his inexperience in acting, but hopefully he improves over time. Kind of like The Rock, you know, he wasn't always just the epic hero we know him to be. He kind of grew into that role, and hopefully John Cena, through the course of his Hollywood career, improves as an actor. I was supposed to do invisible joke, but I guess I just couldn't see it happening. Wink, wink. You know, because he's John. Yeah.
What?
Wink, wink. So next up in the roster, we have a completely weird and relatively unknown DC character, the Ratcatcher. And surprisingly enough, she was made to be an epic character, and James Gunn has just an amazing way of making these unknown characters into really amazing badasses, and it definitely shines through with Ratcatcher because the way she utilizes her rats. I mean, seriously, you would think that being able to control rats is just a weird ability, but the way she uses it is just amazing. And yeah, you'll be surprised how she utilized her powers in this movie, and you would definitely wonder why the rest of the squad are there and in the first place, because she is just so awesome. Another surprising villain they used is Polka Dot Man, and he is totally revamped from his comic book counterpart. Of course, starting out as a Batman villain, Polka Dot Man was mainly just he usually, I mean, in the comics, he would throw polka dots at Batman, and each polka dot, each color would have a specific power, like it could cut or whatever. It just has a whole lot of utility, and it wasn't really that interesting, but James Gunn totally revamped the character. Now he has space cancer or interdimensional cancer that actually he can expel from his body. Actually kind of gross in a gross way, because if he doesn't expel the polka dots inside his body at least twice a day, he would look like a blob, and it's gross, and it was so fun to watch. And he is definitely one of the most interesting characters in this movie. And of course, he has a backstory with his mom. The one thing I would have to say is actually his mom doesn't actually look like a villain capable of, using her son as a test subject for interdimensional viruses. She kind of looks like, for all intensive purposes, I apologize to all the Karens out there, but she looks like a Karen who would just, get angry at a manager at McDonald's or something. But yeah, I guess that was for comedic effect, and yeah, we can just look past it. So again, with Polka Dot Man and Ratcatcher, I think they have all the power in the team, and I guess you can cut out the rest of the squad and they would just be epic. Nonetheless, at least the way they are portrayed in this movie, but I guess having people to lead them actually also helps. So next character is one of two of the most lovable characters in this series, and that is King Shark. And again, James Gunn also has an amazing talent of making these weird creatures lovable. I mean, we have from Guardians Groot, and now in Suicide Squad we actually have two, which we'll go through the other one later. But yeah, King Shark. And of course, again, following James Gunn's formula of using super manly actors for weird roles, the voice of King Shark is actually Sylvester Stallone, Rocky himself. So the next character I'm about to talk about is just a side character, and as the Suicide Squad team goes, he was actually one of the sacrificial lambs, because Suicide Squad usually starts off by killing some of its members. And again, he is the second part of the most lovable characters in this show, and that is Weasel. And again, he is completely revamped from his comic book counterpart. Now he's just actually like a cat/dog creature, and it's kind of cute and weird and ugly in a weird way. Q cute and Ant-Man's daughter for loving cute and ugly stuff. But yeah, we definitely loved how they portrayed Weasel in this movie. So speaking of other notable characters, we also have Savant. And he's not particularly an epic villain, but he is played by Yondu and Michael Rooker, of course, one of, again, a Guardians of the Galaxy cast member. Yeah, I think that was just such a fun connection. They completely revamped also Savant, because he was portrayed to have like expert marksman abilities, and in the comics he is more like a mastermind type thing. He likes to blackmail people and you hack stuff, and yeah, so again, James Gunn taking his creative license to change up these lesser known MCU villains. So with that said, there is one other Guardian of the Galaxy present in this movie, but it is a secret cameo, so I won't say who, but you just have to find where she is. So if comment down below if you did, but yeah, just tag spoiler because some people might not know. So yeah, that was really fun to watch, and seeing James Gunn kind of mess around with the two universes. So casting wise, this movie is already so much fun to watch, and with the director like James Gunn, again, you definitely would not go wrong, and they didn't. The story was okay, nothing really groundbreaking about it. It's just a basic Suicide Squad story, but I mean, that's the whole fun point of it. We have this group of unlikely heroes trying to team up against insurmountable odds, and you know, doing weird stuff along the way. I think it is R-rated, so we do see a lot of blood, guts, gore, and you know, the occasional male appendage, a lot of swearing, and a lot of fun. Surprisingly enough though, aside from being like an action comedy, there is a surprising amount of character growth for all the characters. You know, you have of course Bloodsport having this arc of redemption for his daughter. You have Polka Dot Man with his mother issues. You have, well, just all of them almost has some sort of growth throughout the film, and that's always fun to watch. So this film is very action-packed. I loved watching how Bloodsport and Peacemaker was trying to compete on who can have the higher kill count throughout the film. And of course, this film as well is beautifully colored. So unlike other superhero films in Marvel and in DC, they usually hate color, and the color grading for the films tend to be grayish, pale grayish. I don't know why, but yeah, there's a lot of color, a lot of vibrance, especially with Harley Quinn's scene. I think they took a page from Birds of Prey, and having such a colorful palette, and it's just amazing. It's beautiful to watch. It made my eye sockets happy. So again, since the director of the film is James Gunn, I'm not sure if he was the one who picked the song or he had his music guys pick the songs for him, but the soundtrack of this film is also amazing. Not as amazing as Birds of Prey. I mean, I guess DC does have a good record, pun intended, a good record of having awesome soundtracks for their films. Especially in Suicide Squad minus Bohemian Rhapsody. But yeah, this movie had an okay soundtrack. So yeah, overall, James Gunn just gave us a lot of amazing characters. Of course, we already love Harley Quinn, and I guess she will be here for a long time throughout the course of the current DCEU. But we would definitely want to see more of the rest of the guys, especially Bloodsport, and I hopefully John Cena improves throughout his Peacemaker career, but he will definitely come back with I think his own TV series called Peacemaker, and hopefully we get to see more of Ratcatcher, although I don't know how she would be written in an endearing way now that we know she has epic rat controlling powers, because it can be used as an ex machina for a lot of things. And yeah, hopefully we get to see more of Polka Dot Man, although I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, hopefully we get to see more of him, even as a flashback or something. Also, King Shark, again, being just such a lovable character. I wouldn't mind buying a King Shark toy or something like that. I think that's what they were going for, similar to their Groot approach. Hopefully we do get some King Shark merchandise soon. Yeah, again, there's a lot to say, a lot to love about this film. So, case in point, definitely one of the best DCEU films so far. We're giving Suicide Squad a solid, an epic 8.5 out of 10. So again, this movie, I can't say enough about the cast, but I definitely think most of the credit should go to James Gunn for being such an amazing director, and he is just great with these types of film and making unknown characters into, again, epic badasses. And I think it definitely only works because these are relatively unknown characters and he can change them up any way he pleases to fit the story without getting anyone offended. And yeah, I think most of the fans would agree that these changes were for the better, and I would love to see a version of his version of Polka Dot Man in the comics and in the movies as well. So yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. What do you think? Have you seen Suicide Squad? Let us know down in the comments below what you think. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us out a lot. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe and notification bell so you'll be notified of our next videos. Once again, it's me, your bearded bro, QuickSilver 15, signing off. Peace.